Okay, so this is another pattern in the default play. This includes a handler 1 to 5 and also something we call a cycle. So this is the play to start off with. We've gone handler to number 2. Didn't go because it was a bit of a mess. Back to the handler breaks to number 1. Gets a bounce cut to number 4, but again a bit messy because this didn't get very thrown down very far. But we reset. Then we have something called a cycle, which I'll talk about in more detail in a minute. 1 to 5 on the open side. Again, doesn't look at the end zone, but swings the disc again, and then this handler foots it through to someone through in the end zone. So let's look at that in more detail. We've got handler to handler, and then the number 2 on the pull play, and the number 2. Everyone's a bit slow getting down, plus also the handlers push up a bit far. There was a good bounce cut, but because the handlers and the distances weren't right, it was all a bit clogged. Swings it back to one of the handlers, which is fine. Then this handler uses the open side cut of another player to help them break the force to the number 1. Now we've got 3 people behind the disc now because of the original mess. So in fact the same thing happens here. This bounce cut is a bit short, and again because we had so many people behind the disc, because of the early clump, we end up having another one here. And it's very wise that number 5 doesn't cut, but we take our time, reset the disc, and now we're back into this stack. You see 2 handlers, a front, 2, 3 and so on. We do something called a cycle, which is the handler actually clearing from the open side through to the break side. We use this a lot when number 1 is guarded behind, because they're 3 under. They get the disc and throw to number 5. Now when a handler or number 1 gets on the open side, we're looking for the number 5 to have open continuation like that. This case again doesn't go in the end zone, and it gets swung again, and then the handler foots it through to the 3 deep in the end zone. So the main thing there is that cycle, and that handler to 1 to 5 on the open side